Good evening, everybody. How are we going? I'm just going to jump straight in with a bit of a late start, probably a shorter stream tonight. We are back at the Plastics and Rubber Factory. We're continuing with trying to spruce this up and make it look like a real factory. So last night we worked on we did a bit of the front support work here. Plus we also set up a bit of a lobby area in the front here, which you can see glowing there. Still jump through the window here though. So this is kind of a come in and self-serve collection here. So we've got the plastic being produced by the factory here, with the rubber being produced there. We also set up train logistics, so we have way too many train platforms and we are slowly filling them with our tiny amount of production that we currently have going, but there's lots of room for expansion later on. We also redid the top section here. This section here in the middle, we kind of made centered here like this. These used to be lined up with the sides, but I decided to line them up with sort of the center third because this kind of factory has three different angles here. And I had just kind of a bit of stumped on what to do with the front design of the factory, but I've had a few ideas that I want to experiment with tonight. And hopefully they will work and come together. But one of the things I'm going to do first is, when making this blueprint here, I really needed a wall down the middle here for some support, which is going to need some integration with the pipe work as well. So we kind of need to update this blueprint. I mean, I could manually put some walls in here, I guess. But I think it would be good to integrate with the blueprint just so that there's some consistency there. So I'm going to start with that, I think, and at least give it a go. So I'm just going to come over here and chuck a blueprint maker down here. Now this was our diluted fuel blueprint, and this was, yeah, for the inner section, so it didn't have any outer walls. So the other blueprint had sort of big thick walls, and on the outside the pipes are on the outside, whereas this one's designed for being inside. And these are designed such that when you have two of these back to back, the pipes don't clash, and everything kind of fits together. Hilky Dub, how does the game feel in VR? Allmine too. Dordama. Hi Allmine, welcome. I think it feels fantastic. I love this game in VR. Even before I could play it in VR, I was always a fan of the first person perspective, and I always thought it would make a really good VR game. But it is a fantastic world to exist in VR. And there is a heck of a lot of detail in here that you really miss when playing in flat screen mode. Now, I was going to put a support here, but that is really going to clash with those cross pieces. So maybe I put supports over here. Trying to think how this will fit when we put one next to another as well. That's a point, because when this comes back to back with another one, the one that is here, let's see, that's 1, 2, that's 4 meters from the edge. So when mirrored, this will come over here. Oops, I have stick drift, which is not a good thing. Okay, so that's actually going to run into there. So is there a place in this blueprint we can actually put a vertical wall? It is not going to clash with a T-piece. Maybe I should have checked the layout up here a bit closer to try and figure out if there's a space we can actually put a wall. Yes, it's going to conflict with that one. And I think if we put another one there, that's going to clash with there. So Pilky Dub, if you've got a VR headset and you've got Satisfactory, you can always give it a try yourself. The mod is freely available. I'm going to find the pipes. There they are, pipes from that side. Now, I'm not leaving this blueprint here, I'm just putting it down so I can get a better understanding of how all of these would go if they were more than that many put together. That is not aligned very well. That's odd. And that's backwards. That's better. Yes, the pipes are lining up. So I'm not leaving this blueprint here. I just want to see if there's any point along this length. And it's the spot right here, I think we could fit a wall in there. So where's a wall? Let's just grab one of these. Trying to put it in there, down there. So the edge of the walkway, which is the edge of the blueprint, is there. So that spot does not conflict with any T-pieces. So that's really the only place we could build a vertical support that would cover the entire thing without... I mean, there is that spot right here as well. Because this is on the other end of the blueprint. But I can't go all the way to the walkway because there's a cross piece down there and I don't want to cover up the cross pieces. So that section there would just cover plain pipe and would give us a bit of a solid pillar in the middle of the blueprint. All mine too. I wish I had a big room to set up my VR. Always punch my desk. My desk is actually in front of me, but it's like half a meter in front of me. So I've sort of pulled my chair back half a meter. So you don't need a huge amount of room. Actually, this is good because when the blueprints are reversed, this one will actually be there because when we delete this blueprint. Okay, so there is a spot and it's only right up against the blueprint edge. So it's up against where the stairs from the ground come up. Another trick you can do if you're short on space is to turn it around so that your back is facing your monitor and your desk. That way if you're going to punch anything, you're punching what's on the wall behind you. So yes, there might be a bookshelf there or something else like that, but at least then you're not punching your monitor or your keyboard or anything. I mean, playing like this, I'm actually playing seated tonight. Usually I'd play standing up, but I'm just sitting in my chair and my hands most of the time are just resting on my legs. So, I mean, occasionally I'll pick it up to point around and aim with things. But for the most part, I'm not really moving much. So if we build two of these back to back, there will effectively be another pillar on this side at this end from the blueprint that's back to back. Now we want to put some... We could just put these down here as sort of a visual indicator that they're going in. But I reckon it'll look better with a wall hole rather than a floor hole. Now we can't put... Let me sample this. We can't... Where's the... No, that wasn't giving me the holes. What gives me the holes? Floor holes, wall holes. You can't stick a wall hole directly on here. It doesn't let you, which is a bit stupid. Because all you need to do is stick a wall on here. And then it'll let you. Now, again, the one in here is going to be inside the wall when these are back to back. So really, we only need to put this support on this side. We're going to have a problem. See, I was thinking I could put a little... Actually, I can't put a little pipe in there. It's probably too close. So what we do is when we build this, we do a pipe from there and we run it all the way through to the other side, because cosmetically it doesn't matter. It's still going through the pipe. So that's our center wall. That will at least look like our support has a bit of structure, because at the moment this is just a floating roof. We have no support. So this will give us a bit more support at least. Other thing we need to do is across the top here. See how in the distance the overlapping diagonal bits are sort of making this crosshash pattern in the middle. So we're going to stick some of these supports here. And again, when these are back to back, this will be filled in from this side, and so this one in the middle will actually have a double overlap. But there's not really we can do anything much about that without putting a half support in there. And I'm going to fall in the water if I'm not careful. So I think that will do. And yes, this does mean we need to rebuild those blueprints up there again. But that's what blueprints are good for. They're good for making minor changes, and then you can just rebuild your entire factory in a couple of minutes. Now, before we just rip all this down, there are a few connection points. So the pipes will need to be rebuilt and reconnected to the back. There's also an output here that will need to be rebuilt to sink the resin. And over the other side, so I don't know if we would need more walkways or that. So the other side, we're going to need resin sinks as well. So there's a couple of attachment points we will need to rebuild here. And when we stop these, our plastic and rubber production is going to come to a halt for a bit. I might rebuild that one first, do one at a time basically. Actually, I should, because these are all little interconnection bits. So these, when we delete the blueprint, you kind of need to rebuild manually. There's the wall. That lift there will need to be rebuilt. Okay, so how does it look down the middle? Actually, we haven't got another side there, so we've only got the two supports. But that structure is all the way down the middle there. These line up. There's going to be pipe and you need to lay along the bottom there. And this will have the T-piece down there with the cosmetic hole. So that's looking pretty good. So we just need to repeat a rebuild up here of this one. Actually, that was the right way around because I can tell the support is already there. Now, because this doesn't have a second side here, we will need to fill in some stuff on this side. But I might put something here that will still have a similar roof structure, so there's not any real point on manually finishing that off at this stage. Bomerk, good evening. How you going? That'll come to there. We need a little joiner there. We're just rebuilding the factory yet again with minor changes. So this, oh, we need some support holes here. Ah, I didn't put those features on. We should do that before we get too far ahead. Completely forgot about that. Now this is going to be a completely unscientific eyeballing of height. And I will join up pipes just to see if they look correct. That went to the wrong place. Oh, I did it again. It's not a good angle down there. Ah, look. They're actually level. Bonus. You just woke up, everything is fine. How are you? I'm pretty good, thanks. Had a tiring day today. Had to help my brother and my dad do a lot of pruning earlier in the day, so it was a pretty busy day. So I'm having a very chill, short stream tonight. By the way, started new modding, making Star Rapture. Oh, mod environment for Star Rapture. Tell me more, all mine, please. I need a mod environment for Star Rapture for the obligatory VR mod. So Elmine, tell me more. How are you modding Star Rapture? Oh, damn it. I actually didn't want to leave these pipes in because otherwise it's going to be a pain to join the holes together on the inside without just rebuilding everything. So those holes are purely cosmetic. Once again, it's forgotten the directory that this should go in, the folder, a bug that's been there since before 1.0. Or if you save a blueprint multiple times, it doesn't know where to save it. Nope, I'm going to have to move it manually later. Running RE UE4SS, and it's going to be hard due to lots of unknown things. Yeah, I wondered if UE4SS would work with it. Did that actually save? I wasn't looking at the prompt that said. Guess we'll find out. Okay, let's try that again. So now when we take this from here through to the other side, we need to rebuild these two blueprints as well so that they have the new updated marks on it. Blueprint mod is working, but I don't know how to get actual CPP headers and make they work. Okay. Well, for a lot of the stuff I do, a blueprint is most of what I need to do a mod like this, as long as I can do widgets. And position a few things in 3D space. Although my bridge to UVR currently does use C++. So having C++ would certainly be useful. Do a blueprint snap. These railings go past the pillar. Normally I wouldn't have railings in that situation, but I don't think it's too bad in this particular instance. So now I run from here through to there. And I run from there through to there, and it looks like it goes through the correct wall holes. Because if you delete this to manually put a pipe in there, then you can't easily blueprint delete it. So keeping the minimum manual edits as possible is good. You have to dig CPP headers as devs won't give that us info. Isn't there something that dumps the CPP headers as an extract? Now this end bit does have holes here. I am tempted to connect that just for cosmetic reasons. That actually gives you a flow indicator, whereas these other ones, the flow indicator is actually in the wall, I think. Oh, there's one. That one's got a flow indicator. The other one doesn't. Oh, there it is on the other side. Okay. I wonder if that's because of the direction I built them. Okay, either way, these things are going to need power. My sound is stuttering a bit. Is anyone else hearing that? Is my stream in good health? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, they don't have power because they were getting power from that. Whoops. Should actually wire these up separately so they're not dependent. It could just be my Bluetooth headset is a bit stuttery, other than the actual stream itself, perhaps. Maybe I'll take it from where it is and put it in a different position. Then I might punch it. See how that goes. Okay, so did I connect all the pipes up correctly? We've got green lights on that side. That's a good sign. Oh, I didn't fix the pillar height here. Damn it. I noted that last stream and I went, if I ever do edits on this, I should fix that pillar height, and then I completely forgot. I reckon we actually shuffle those down. And we overlap at the bottom. That way your idleman height sees all the smooth connections with no Z fighting, and all the Z fighting happens below the belt, so to speak. Might need a big counter on screen for every time I rebuild a blueprint. I really should back these up sometime as well, because I swear I'm going to accidentally overwrite one or something at some stage. Okay, here we go again. Oop, no, don't delete those pipes at the back. That would be bad. Oh no, I made the classic blunder. Every time you build one of these, it takes 25 empty canisters. But the whole process recycles these canisters using packaged water and fuel. So every time I delete one, instead of getting empty canisters back, I get full canisters of stuff I don't want. Yep, there goes my USB connector. Thank you for throwing that across the room. Let's build them all the same direction. See if we can get the indicators to all be in the same spot. So I'm assuming it's based on direction. Okay, having the indicator here is really useful. Can we get indicators on this side? Yes. Okay, we got the two indicators on this side. Is that all I need to connect, other than power and other stuff? Whoa, no, not there. I really wish they'd fix these connection bugs. Okay. That's right, there's another connection around the back. I should have built across at the top here into the blueprint, but maybe I'll just manually put one in, and that can be done later. It's a trimming thing that can be done. Okay, right, now, are the pillars matching heights? Yes. Okay, that's better. Let's wire up our waste maintenance. Did that kind of try and auto-connect but not really work? I think it did try and auto-connect. Oh look, there's multiples there. What's this side missing? Not seeing any green lights yet. Bomerk, you're reminding me about Z lapping. The mod that fixes it. I'm waiting. Ah, yes, waiting for the 1.2 so I can play again. I need to remember to install it because it really bothers me. Fair enough. There are ways around it, but they are a bit fiddly to do manually. Something is not connected. Ah, did I do these little bits here? Yes. Yes. We're missing... What are we missing? Crude oil. We're not getting any crude oil in. Did I skip a connector? I think I skipped a connector. I think this pipe went straight through this junction without actually connecting to it. That's what I've done wrong. Need to skip the holes, but not that point. So we should get a green light over here now. Yeah, there we go. Super green. So we've got some yellow lights over here because it's missing some fuel. So those over time should even out and become green again. Right. So that was one thing that was bugging me a little bit after the last session, is the support in the middle there. So I think that's a bit tidier now. I still need to do kind of a what happens in the middle or on the sides type thing. But that's down the list a little bit. So next I wanted to do something for these fronts, which I was a bit stumped on before, but I think I'm going to do just a good old grill of walls. Now I could do this as a blueprint, but I think I need to experiment with sort of the design a bit. So we will need a full... Oops. Another cross on the inside, so that way around. And vertical soup. So I think I actually want the corner to be thicker, because that's a half slab. I think I want it to be 4 meters, which is going to be a problem for that conveyor belt. I think we'll just sink that logistic later on. Although we're going to have another problem in that basically you do walls in a vertical spaced position to give sort of a slats vent view. But I didn't want it to be flush with the wall. I wanted it to be inset a bit. So maybe instead of having that there, we have that as a 1.5 thickness. That way we can have walls that are sort of inset, even if they're just that far in. Now I didn't want to just fill it entirely with walls. I did want a kind of a pattern on it. I sort of wanted this as a reverse along the bottom, and that would maybe be a double thickness on this side, so... Oops. Oops, why did I zoom that way? Okay, it didn't actually zoom. It's trolling me. So we have kind of the opposite down the bottom here. And how far across do we want this? Do we want it all the way here, or do we want it lowered down kind of here? Oops. Hello, Bitzone. How are you? I want this sort of double thickness. But I do have to... Come on, I want to snap underneath. Can I do that? Or is it going to complain? That'll do there, actually. How about the boy? Oh, hey, how's it going? It's a bit of a chonkier outline compared to the rest of the roof. This wall's going to be a bit fiddly if I want it to look smooth on the inside. The wall is probably also the wrong finish or texture. We're probably better to go with concrete, even though concrete is going to be harder to paint, but we still can paint concrete. So let's change that to a concrete wall. And then let's see what colour. Was this a really black? No, that wasn't a really black. The concrete is very resistant to having bold colours put on it, at least for the walls it is. I spent 3 hours yesterday making a Blender blueprint that has all the I/O straight on the other axis below it in a straight line with extensions for auto connect. Oh, that's not a Blender. Okay, I was going to say you were using Blender. Cool. Just recently finished TF power plant in the blue crater. Nice, nice. Turbo fuel. I'm kind of struggling to find motivation to start next large build. Well, if you've got turbo fuel in the blue crater, you should have plenty of power. Yes, I know there's a way to colour the concrete. I was getting there. I don't know if black is the right color though. I wonder, maybe. Actually, we did have minus 0.14 there, so let's try -1. I can't remember if it's the brightness you need to do negative or the contrast. Let's try that. Actually, I have a preset saved, I'm pretty sure. Max black. Max black. The problem with max black is it's too black. Oh, okay, that doesn't work on walls. See, it'll work on concrete. I can get the concrete black, but not concrete walls. The color saturation to 6, yeah. I mean, this was the minus brightness. I could try this, the color saturation. No, the walls are resistant. This bit of concrete, totally, you can get that super black. But these walls, nope, not doing it. Yep, shit game. I do not have any mods outside of the VR mod and sort of streaming content creation mods. So I have one where I can change the time of day. But you know what? The other kind of wall, the problem with the other kind of wall is the pattern. But you're not going to see the pattern on the inside. I mean, another way we could do it is we could use the little walls and just span little walls. That would be the easiest way to do this, but that would also take up a lot more objects. Although I'm pretty sure the game optimizes it so that passive meshes kind of grouped together as a single mesh internally for optimization. I think I remember seeing that in the code. See, this one we can do absolutely pitch black. But I think black is actually not the color for here. Inconsistencies are working. They are. Yeah. Well, this is the sort of pattern at the front, and the chrome actually might work better. You can actually see some of the pattern through, which is a little annoying. So maybe I do need to use the 1 meter ones and just suck it down. I mean, the advantage of using the 1 meter ones is I can get exactly the right height without messing around. It's going to come out the wrong color, so let's change that to chrome. This I can take all the way down to the bottom very easily. The other thing is I could use beams or I could use pillars, so there are other ways I could do this. I would need a lot of pillars, but pillars would, I would need a lot of beams, but beams would make it thinner. I'll do a couple, then I'll head outside and see how they look. See, once I get the design right, I could very easily put this in a blueprint to then apply it to other walls. Yeah, I think this could work okay. I could even recess it a bit more, perhaps. Yeah, it's taking me like 2 whole zoops to do the full height now. That's a lot of 1 meter walls. Oh look, I wasn't even finishing those. Not that that really matters on the inside. I can always top it up later. Although I will now, because that's not actually reaching. Oh, it's barely. No, it's not even doing it. It's not quite doing it. Let's find a perch up here. Oh, come on, let me put it on, please. It's being stubborn. Oh, I missed. Man. There we go. So I think having this on either side could be pretty bold. I'm wondering if I should put sort of a shape in the middle, sort of just to break it up a bit. Actually, we should probably center this properly. So 1, 2, 3. So this is the middle here. So that there is the center point. And if we stick a half in here, something like that, and we can put a window in that space in the middle. Or something else. The hex is looking mighty. How do you plan supporting it? Thoughts and prayers. I could have a column down from the middle, like a middle support, sort of running down here, just as a support, or I could put a steel beam top and bottom. Like a big steel pillar maybe. But if these are running all the way around, we might be able to make it look like these are supporting it and holding it up. So window, my spacing is a little odd here. Is that wider than one window? I never remember where windows are hiding. I think they're counted under the wall category. Here they are. Yeah, you reckon I should double down on the hexes? Okay, so one hex isn't going to do it, but I can do like that. Sort of like that. And then I just continue with these, I guess. Excuse me. Up, up. I want you to zoop up.
Incoming propaganda broadcast detected. Please seek shelter.
Up. Now, I think if I do it into the concrete, it doesn't like going up from there, which is kind of odd. Nope, even from there it didn't. Okay, so one slight problem is this is not centered to that, so I think I need to move this across 1 meter. That's right, I moved it out by 1 meter so I wouldn't be pressing against this wall. But I think I'm going to have to move it back by 1 meter. At a weird angle. Okay. So I'm going to take a short break because Twitch wants me to run some ads. So I'm going to have a quick bio break and we will be back after to finish fiddling around with the style of this build that we're throwing together. I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Look lively. It's time to do those stretches and hydrate.
Okay, and I'm back. Really need a higher pillar up here, actually. Maybe I should just bring one of these across. I was thinking I probably should figure out the rest of the roof line before I finish this, although I don't really have enough room to go down the same amount because that's going to be overhanging. Or is it? Is that going to be intruding on our center space? I think it will because, you know, we've got this flat bit here. So it's going to be one across and then it's going to be down. So I think we do need to do something different on the inside here. It's where the geothermal generators are just bait to make people build around it. Well, it's right. It's also the dead center of the blue crater. So the fact that there's a geothermal point there is actually separate to the point than it is the center of the crater. So even if it wasn't there, I would have put this circle there to circle around the crater. But it was a good center feature point as well. So yes, this... How will I do this? Probably getting this outline is just as important as where I put the rest of the eye. Actually, I was going to tilt it in and kind of use that slope there, which I guess I could do with the hard hex there. So the hard hex is there and then we have a diagonal off to the side of the hex. Maybe like that. Almost wondering if I should blueprint just this bit so I don't have to rebuild it several times. I need one of them. And I'm going to make that. I think before I had it that size. No, it was that size. Okay. Wondering about how is the experience of playing Satisfactory in VR in terms of productivity and motion sickness. I find that I am, on the whole, more productive. I find aiming in VR, and I'm so used to the controls that I actually find them easier than keyboard and mouse now. There are a few things that are harder in VR control-wise than on keyboard and mouse. For example, rotating is still challenging. There's actually 3 different ways to rotate in VR because none of them are as good as just a little mouse scroll wheel. And the latest method of rotating is brilliant, but with the slight downside is it overlaps with some other functionality, so you can't use it in every situation. But on the whole, like accessing things like sampling and building and placing, I prefer it in VR. The build menu is a little harder to access. So obviously in a keyboard, you've got numbers 1 to 10 for hotkeys. So you can very quickly flip between different build menus. So that's a little slower in VR, but you can either use this sample, like a easel menu here, or you can use a rotation menu here. And if you're mostly using stuff off just one, it's very quick to pick one once you have some muscle memory of where you've put things. I'm wondering if we should put a bit of a beam around the inside there while we're fiddling. Yeah, that gives it a bit more of a bold outline. Now let's just save this. Obviously, the other limitation in VR is the keyboard is not as good. But it's fine for like doing little searches like this. Why does the hex... Oh, there it is. That's the one I want. Honeycomb. I need to put my features in subcategories, I think. There's too many. Do you want to continue? No, I don't want to cancel that yet. I want to close that and then save. What we can then do is we can come into a menu here with lots of blueprints on it. Oh, that was from my coal power plant. I don't need that anymore. So let's override that. Is it our hex blueprint? Now we should just be able to go, actually probably quicker to do it over here. Oh, we got it right there. Did I do that at the wrong height? I did that at the wrong height. It needs to come out to that height. Where is it? There it is. Why is that not lining up to the right center point? That's better. So that is now centered to that, centered to that. Type is hard in VR, made radial keyboard, but it was only for index VR controller. A radial keyboard would be a bit faster or a bit more accurate, I think. But it would still be a bit fiddly to get around. Now that's interesting that that is actually overlapping. Did I nudge these by half a meter somewhere? Oh no, of course, it's on the border, therefore it's across. No, that's fine. That works well, actually. I didn't put suit mode on. Oh, fell down. And I am going to run out of rooftops here in a second. I think that's all the way in. That one's not quite all the way in, so I do need to go lower there. Oops. Yeah, I really need a better platform to stand on now. Said lock. Nudge that way. Stick drift. Stick drift is a problem. But, you know, on keyboard and mouse, having a crappy mouse would be a problem as well. I do need to replace this controller. So I think I'll keep that flat there, but I'll also keep this slope here. Would be mirrored down there. Okay, we're on the flat bit here, so probably want to keep these the same height. I was going to say, how well am I actually doing equidistant here, but not quite. Well, let me put one on top, please. I think I'll do it there. Actually, there is a slope, so... just start sloping it down a little bit. Oh. Sometimes it lets me zoop up, and other times it doesn't want to. So now it's letting me zoop again. I wonder what the
Dippy
difference
VR
is.
says, afternoon.
Hey Dippy, how you going? Good afternoon. Now I'm running out of edge here too. Oh, didn't want to let me zoom. And that will go all the way to the top. To the moon. What are your inspirations for the build? My right arm is sore after 5 hours of pointing at stuff. Yeah, I noticed you did a Satisfactory stream, was it yesterday, BTP? And my inspirations for the build here, probably just a lot of other Satisfactory players. So there are probably a few Satisfactory players who have really influenced my building style or ideas. So this one is probably more of a fluxo design. We've got big slabs of concrete and sort of this sort of slots and slabs of concrete I think is more of a fluxo brutalism sort of finish. The side around here is a bit simpler. We've just got windows in the walls, so while we're still a very concretey building, this is a bit more simple. Total Eclipse is also another builder who I look at a lot of builds and designs, but I think this is probably pretty Fluxo inspired. Yep, yesterday. Cool, cool. I haven't watched it. I just saw that it was there. How did it go? Now I'm stuck because I don't know what to do with this corner. I think if I bring out the corner, I could possibly continue this a little down the side. Actually, if we continue that out, come off that corner. We can kind of keep that extended look, maybe. Which means we're going to have to get down there and put a diagonal corner on there. So yeah, some Satisfactory builders take inspiration from real-life architecture. I'm not that artistic. I mean, I can look at a building and go, "It's a building." I'm not really familiar with a lot of the great architectural builds, so I tend to more just go look at other Satisfactory people and see what styles they do that look cool. Because they're also using the build parts that we have access to. So not only do they show you how to make a good style, but they'll also show you how to actually use that style with the parts that are available in Satisfactory and build with it. Definitely took inspiration from IRL factory architecture. It's a grey blue box. Touche. Yeah, that is one way of doing it. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, yeah, some of my buildings do take inspiration from It's a Tin Shed. I have no idea. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build a blueprint just of this chunk of wall. Doesn't matter if it's full height or not. Thinking the chrome actually works pretty decent as a colour. Do I make it bigger than that? I think that's big enough because we can always stick two on top of each other. This is almost not even worth naming. Oops, especially since I stuffed up the clear of text. It's a chrome wall. Not even really worth putting in the features folder here. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'll expand on it and make it shinier or something. Let's see if that actually helps me build this a little faster. And I didn't actually put it on my bar, but yeah, let's just manually select it. So that's lined up with that previous one, so it would be there. And if we go... Oh, we do go on snap by blueprint. What is... Oh, that's snapping to the wrong blueprint. That's not useful. Here we go. Oh, that's useful. That's snapping to the outside of the blueprint. As long as it is still putting the gap in there. Is it still putting the gap in there? Yes, okay, it's keeping the gap. That's good. Oh, it's going to be a pain to put in there. Oh. Yes, please. Oh. Okay, I might have gone a bit overboard there. Yes, I know I'm going to have to move that conveyor belt. You know, it sort of makes it a little simpler. Ha 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 ha! I have run out of iron plates. That's what happens when you spam blueprints with lots of little balls in them. Now, maybe I don't need to do too much. Maybe I just do around the corner and I don't have this bit. Or I just have it as the lower level. Can you remember where I built my iron plate stepper operator? I know where my iron plates are, and it might be worth actually filling up on them. I actually kind of forgot that walls used iron plates. So I guess we want a similar diagonal 4-piece here, and then we maybe angle it down? I don't know. I don't know. So road barrier will rotate in 15-degree increments and will snap to any place you want. So it is excellent for getting angles of 15 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees. Missed. Okay. Maybe I just have a concrete wall like this. Just like that and be done with it. That's actually probably fine. The advantage there is we can use a half foundation and try and snap it on the end there. Come on, let me snap on the end, please. That's the right way around. Oh, it's too far down. Oh look, we've got a random wall down there as well. Yay, now I got the CPP mod and Star Up chat. Ooh. Keep me posted, all mine, keep me posted. Not sure about that being right on the edge. I mean, it looks okay from this angle. You know what? It's probably acceptable. Actually, let's just stick a wall somewhere here so I can stand on it. Now, if we do it the same on the other side, there's going to be like two eyes, which is going to look a bit disorienting, perhaps. Oh. Almost feel like this wall here needs to move back a bit, or we move these forward 1/2 meter. If we put them there. Oops, I still have lots of little walls back there. Just by bringing it out that 1/2 meter, it kind of lines up better with the corner. Now, technically, that's a full meter gap there, and that's a 1/2 meter gap there, but I think that looks a bit better. Now that I've just built all the wall. Definitely better? Yeah, you think it's... Yeah, especially on the corner there, it lines up better. I want to snap to there. Let me just sneak. Go, got it. No, delete. Tag. Yeah, that definitely lines up better. We've got little bits left in the roof there. Be stubborn. There. It's still a bit asymmetrical. And I think once we do the same on the other side, it will either look great or it will look spooky. Put a big red light behind it so it just shines as two red eyes across the whole rest of the scenario. Okay, now I just need to remember how I did this and do it again on the other side. So on the inside here, we should have... Yeah, okay, we got a little bit to tidy up. We're definitely going to need to rerun that conveyor. And we might need to do a bit of tidying around here. But that's okay. It's overall not too bad. Yeah, exactly. I should do a big mouth in the middle. Is that what you're saying I should do? Still haven't figured out quite what I'm doing in the middle yet. Right. So, let's see if I remember this correctly. It was half meter, half a slab there. Oops. But then it was half out. And this was a full slab. That one. I think that's how the spacing went. An entrance? Well, actually, we do need an entrance. We haven't done an entrance yet, so I was thinking we could put like a drone pad, sort of a later when we get drones, so you can fly in by drone and then land and then walk down into the foyer area. I just realized I am really low on my fuel in my jetpack. Yes, okay, we did do the half overlapping, so I'm pretty sure I got the spacing right. But this is probably a good spot to go home and stock up on fuel, because I'd rather pick up fuel. I mean, I've got this fuel here, it just doesn't last as long, it's a bit zippier. It just will send me crashing into the ground. It's not even much zippier. But the liquid biofuel lasts ages. I need to get more slabs of concrete too. I haven't checked my concrete supply, but I usually do take a whole bunch of extra concrete in my pack. Yes, I am very low on concrete. Let's grab 8 stacks of that. Yeah, biofuel at this stage of the game is excellent. I mean, even late game, some people swear by it. Can I even reach this? Nope. Where am I? I'm on the miner, okay. I do need to remember that liquid biofuel is consumable, unlike a hover pack, so eventually you do run out. Good times. Crystal oscillators. Used to be I depended on these guys to give me crystal oscillators because I couldn't make them myself, and I needed them for all the signs that I kept putting everywhere. Oh, purple slug, got on your scratch. Okay. Ah, that's useful. I'm just going to stick this fuel in here just as a storage. I'm actually chewing through the liquid fuel. So basically, if I put in plastic and solid biofuel here, the recycling centre upstairs will turn it into packaged liquid fuel for me down there. I thought I did load a bunch of plastic into the buffer, but let me check. Okay, we got tons of plastic. It is actually biofuel that we are short of. So... Now, I was going to get some more steel plates. Not steel plates, iron plates. And I'm still in the old fuel. Plonk. Steel plate. Iron plates, totally not steel. I don't think I need too many. That's probably plenty to tide me over. Rods are good to have extra of. I don't think I'm going to go through all the rods in the depot, but they're used for railings and things like that, so I can go through a lot of rods. Actually, I should drop off these other... Actually, I've got a... Yeah, no. One brain cell at a time, please. I will drop off the turbo motors that the doggos gave me earlier that I forgot to drop off. Do not need those at all. They are useless at the moment. Crystal oscillators I might as well keep a hold of. That'll do. Oh no. Do not want to burn solid biofuel. That is the worst. We have the good stuff now. Thank you. That's better. Now, if I take the zipline all the way, I'd actually save fuel. I do think that middle hex does need a bit of a light source behind it to make it pop a bit more. I just realized if I build this up to lots of floors above, I'm going to need to have a bit more efficient blueprint for it. And delete that. How do we do the bottom bit? There was that was above the floor level, and we need double thickness. Nope, wrong way. I think that's the wrong height. What happened there? Bad soup. I know it is the right height, it's just that... Should probably replace that whole edge maybe with an angle. it's this is sticking out half a slab, which is throwing me off. Draw a line to verify. It's better to double check. It would be. And that is actually the lower one. So if we want a double thickness, the actual extra thick goes on top of it. Okay, so this is a 2 meter floor here, and the end of this, which is 3 out, sits a full 4 meters below that floor. So this here sits a full 4 meters below. Yes, that is the right height. So this would stick on the end like that. These probably should have been 4 meters as well. I think the last one I nudged, so I'll rebuild that one a bit further up. Can do this 45 here while I'm in the area. Road barrier. 1, 2, 3. Actually, if that's 4 meters, we could put a half one there. I don't know which way that's going lengthways. Yeah, that's wrong. And that's wrong. Hang on, I rotated that. It's lying to me. Oh, that's not a half. What the? I picked half. Half foundation. That's better. Right. Now, I don't think there was anything special. We just started slapping down walls. We do need to paint this stuff so it's shiny. I do have that under materials. No, I haven't put it on here. Yes, I have put it on here. Eventually I'll paint this all with the shiny plastic finish. Now, wall blueprints. Did we put the wall blueprints on here? I don't think we did. No, we didn't. Actually, if I go that one and then I go next, there it is. Now that's on the wall, and we didn't actually start it on the wall. We actually started it there. Theoretically, though, we can go bing, bang, gosh, all the way to there. And then from there, we need to start nudging it down. Oh, that'll last one is not going under, so I need to nudge it down again. And yes, I've realized I haven't chopped out space for the eyeball. Have we tried using low barriers on the sides of lifts that access a machine from above? From Albert DeBoy. Have I tried using low barriers on sides of lifts that access a machine from above? I'm trying to picture what you're describing. Do you mean as in conveyor lifts? So, conveyor lifts. Okay. Have I tried using low barriers on sides of conveyor lifts that access a machine from above? Access a machine from above. Can you try describing it a bit differently? I'm having problems picturing what you're meaning. Oops. Probably should put the eyeball thing or the hex thing in before I get too far ahead here. Conveyor lifts are slightly above, right? Conveyor lifts are above the machine, as in you're feeding materials in from above. It possibly is into the breach OST. It does pop up an indicator saying what the song is at the start of the song, but it doesn't hang around, so if the song is a slow start, you can miss it. Yes, Enter the Breach, actually there's lots of Enter the Breach soundtracks on here. It's actually a really good soundtrack. Which is interesting because I haven't actually played the game. You know it by heart. It's an excellent soundtrack, I can tell you that. So I kind of need to delete some of these. I really should play it because I really do like the soundtrack. As long as the wall doesn't peek out, and I can see one peeking out there, the walls are fine. So we need to chop that one off a little bit. Yeah, that's not too bad. We didn't have to delete too many. The lifts connect to the machines in a bit of an unstable looking manner. Do you mean these machines, the packages? Oh, you mean like the alignment of them is not quite right? Do you mean in here or just in general? There's a particular blueprint here? I mean, if I chuck down a machine, in general, okay. Let's go back to number one. So you mean when you attach it like this, how it looks a bit odd down here? Is that what you're referring to? Because yeah, it does look cosmetically out of place. Yep, okay. And you're saying add low-high barriers, make them look more stable and deliberate. So you mean the road barriers? Ah, you mean like down there? Like that? Not road barriers. There's quite a few barriers. There's the high barriers, low barrier, high barrier. So that's the one, the new ones. You mean like that? I mean, you could do that. That doesn't look too bad. Yep. I mean, you still got a gap at the top there, so you'd have to have an extra barrier on top, or do it like that. Low here, though. And you could do them like this to hide the gap. Just a single low on the sides. Yeah, I guess the single low on the side at least covers the bottom being hanging out the bottom under there. The other way you can do it is to actually move the connector in by a meter, which I don't always do, but I do like the style. So if you have something that you can guide it in to the right position to, like this. That's my preferred way of doing it. So you actually don't see any of the rubber thing and it's actually flush. But that does mean you need to start the conveyor from something else. But that way you can get them right up against the edge without any of this sort of rubber join bit. Using both? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that does look neater. I also use floor holes a lot, so I will usually stick this here like this. I'll snap it in like that. Which technically you can see some of the rubber connector down the bottom there, but because this bit is flush here and there's no rubber in between, it doesn't look as bad. Yeah, there's definitely a number of different ways you can approach it and style it. Usually use splitters for that, but I see that this is quite easier. Yeah. You do need to be careful putting a lift first, though. Now that I've just pulled everything down. There's a bug, and I don't think they've fixed it yet, because there's a number of ways you can say, how do I attach a lift? So you could
Incoming propaganda broadcast detected. Please seek shelter.
So one thing I was doing is I was using this sort of connector here, and so line this up. So I'd build this first to position the lift. So you position the lift from the side here, and you snap it down there like that. Actually, I haven't moved it close enough. So I had something like this. So if you're using a support like this to start the lift, then even though it snaps in place like that, then basically I would then build a conveyor from the lift off to wherever you wanted it to. Oops. like that. Even though that looks correct, the lift won't work. It will be dud. So basically, if you start the lift conveyor from a support, it doesn't work. And I was pulling my hair out some weeks back trying to figure out why a blueprint I had wasn't working, and it was because I was trying to position things exactly. Basically, I was using... I can show you exactly what I was using. Oops. I was trying to do a compact foundry design. Since 0.6, no, it hasn't been broken that far back, because I swear I've done this before, but something has broken at some stage. I swear it used to work, because I swear I used to use this design before. So basically, I would do this. I'm trying to remember the exact positioning I had it in. And I'd do this to get a really compact output from the foundry that could then run back. So I'd put this in here. And even if you delete this and run your conveyor how you want, even if you do that, this lift won't work because it was started from a support. Yeah, so there's definitely some really annoying bugs in the game still. And it's kind of a little annoying that they say, just put it on the Satisfactory questions site and we'll look into it. And some they do, but there's some very old bugs that are still haven't been addressed. Okay, they aren't actually going all the way up. That one is. So the next one will have to be noticed. I really hope they get around to them in 1.2 as well. 60 says the lifts are all sort of broken since 1.1. Yeah, vertical lifts are very bad. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 1.1 that added that bug. And it is most annoying. No. Do not plummet to my doom. There's a couple in here that need one extra on top. I've just realised that I should have made this double thickness at the top, and that would have actually solved some of these clipping problems. This is supposed to be double layer. Because this is supposed to be a full big boy at the top here. Funny enough, there's a mod out there that fixes most of those bugs, Vertical Logistics QOL, so it will be super disappointing if they don't fix it in 1.2. Does Vertical Logistics do anything other than fix the bugs? Because usually I'm trying to avoid gameplay mods. but one that is actual bug fixes. Although again, I try and stream as
Look
much
lively.
as base
It's
game.
time to do those
Oh, I missed the
stretches
ad
and
break.
hydrate.
I forgot the ad break was coming along. Apparently I need to take a break, which is probably a good idea. Okay, I'm going to take a 3-minute break. I will be back shortly. Just bug fixes. Okay, I might look into that. Back in a few minutes. Once my dashboard finishes loading. Come on, dashboard. Hey, we're back. Vertical logistics QOL. Oh, excuse me. I'm choking on a lolly. Let me just have a drink. Top you on X, another day, another time for Dort streams. Cool. Hi, how are you going? We are still here doing. Sorry, I'm still chewing my lolly. Sorry if it's a bit crunchy. Doing architecture at the Plastics and Rubber Factory with some bold brutalist designs. Now over this side, we determined that having this a ½ metre out looked much better. Thank you very much. I'm quite happy with how it turned out, because I didn't want just a slab of wall grills. Whoops. The problem is that if I build this up to higher levels, having the same design on all the higher floors might look a bit disturbing. So I might have to come up with a simpler design for the higher floors. Come on, you were on the right place before. There we go. That should line up with the corner there. Yep. Oh, do not run off the edge. Oops. Come on, if I aim at that wall, it should snap to. There we go. Did I do it all the way flush over there? Yes, I did do one up against the wall. Okay. Now we just need to fill up a few up the top. Sun rising. Now it's been a productive night when you're still working in as the sun rises. Missed. It's not the most reliable way of transport in the air. Okay. So delete that one and delete that one. That didn't take too long to whip up. Hey, I landed. Still not sure what I'm doing in the middle. Oh, come on, you can do it. Well, it's definitely bold. Yeah, it's not too bad though. Thing is, do I do a similar recessed grill in the middle? Perhaps I could just continue the pattern through the middle. Or maybe some big billboards. Or a big sloppy pair of lips. Potentially. Yes, we know it's two eyes. That's the joke. Is there something slightly... There is! There's a missing beam right there. The only one that's missing? Everything else is in place? It wasn't too bad as far as missing bits. Yeah, what's going to happen now? I mean, I just could continue the diagonal back. Well, I've noticed the crosses on the outside there, and there's subtly different patterning. Now, we probably should have some display windows in this section. You know, like we have lighting on the outside walls, we should maybe have some lighting in here so that you can actually see out a bit. I mean, yes, there's the whole grill and the window up there. Could go overboard with signs. So, how would we do this? Agreed. Can't quite see if the pattern's on the right side there or not. Yes, it is. Cool. So we've got the steelworks over there with some signage, so we could do something similar here. No, not with a splitter. No, it is organisation. Large billboards. Wow, that actually is the right size for a large billboard. Not sure what I'd put on it, other than maybe a huge symbol of a bit of plastic. It's also very dovetailed in, so I don't know if the angle's particularly great for having a sign. Oh, I need to edit you. Could just use this as a big background. Background. Just trying some random settings. Shall I need to copy that if I just copy the whole board? What does this cost? Oh, it is only crystal oscillators. Okay. Thought it might have been something a bit more extravagant for the huge one. They're not at the same height. No, I think if there's a billboard, it needs to be flat in the middle. I think we could possibly continue this diagonal here and then have something big, flat and billboardy in the middle. Problems if we continue these, we're really going to have to move this. I mean, that doesn't interrupt with the walkway. See, if we had it all the way along here, it would interrupt with the walkway, but that at least doesn't interrupt with the walkway, and the conveyor is easy enough to move. Or we can just put a million holes, conveyor holes all the way through it. Nope, wrong way around. Maybe that is the corner there. One more, isn't there? Hiding in the corner. Don't have a huge amount of room in here for a sign in the middle. But with this anyway, so maybe we'll make this a half width. Half width, not a half width. You know, that is actually not aligned with the other things, so maybe I'm trying to figure out what it is aligned to. Do we care? I don't know. Well, let's stick with that. We always rebuild, as we have several times already. And we did want... How did we do this? Okay, there's a little sliver, which is that sliver, and then we have that on the inside. Okay, so this comes from down the bottom there. Oops, missed. That seems to stick out more than needed. Right, okay, so if we do this, take that out, and we just put one of these there. Still not a very big space for a billboard. Unless you stop this and bring the whole wall forward, but I don't think we want to do that. I mean, that would work. Stop moving and snap. Thank you. I'm kind of missing where this sizing of this middle bit is from. That was the wrong angle. I mean, that one window down the bottom there is centered, so if we go by that, that should be centered to everything else. Yeah, hey, lucky I copied it. Not that they'll probably stick with that, but it was just a pattern to start with. Now let's go with some super big metal pillars. It's not clipping the front, is it? It's not clipping the front, so it's drifting a lot, but it's not clipping. Yeah, these side square bits are aligned with something else entirely. It's a bit interesting. Oops, and I used the wrong height. Okay, still looks like two giant eyes, doesn't it? No, it's nudging diagonally. Bad nudge. No, don't do that. Okay, that's a bit better. Thanks, Pomerk. Give me the Hexize factory. Hang on. That could have been flush with that, I thought. Oh no, that's on an angle. Okay. Ah, there's no door. Ah, I didn't actually put the corner bit in. That's why. It's supposed to be highlighting on that one there. Fine, I'll do it that way. Hang on, is that right? No, that is not right. Jeez. Now this should have one more. In there. There we go, that's better. Okay. We need some zoop. And zoop. That's nudging diagonally. Okay. So we got those all the way around. I've got a hypno wall in the middle here. Wait, I can't rotate the sign to not be sideways? If it's on top of the other sign? That seems a bit odd. There it is, plastic. If I select that one, it's going to do it at a smaller scale and it won't actually fit in, will it? It's even going to do it in a different direction. Wow. That's because the other one is sideways. I almost feel like those should be somewhere else. Okay, close, but that's overlapping is Z fighting like heck. That bit in the middle is throwing it off. Now that kind of works. The pattern is a little broken though. And the pattern being broken is quite noticeable from back here. That is an ominous building. Makes my steel factory looks inviting and friendly compared to this. I need to add some bright pink to it or something like that. This is not final. I don't like this middle bit. This middle bit was going to change. Into the eyes of the abyss. Yeah, it is a bit hypnotizing, isn't it? I mean, I could put this shimmering background in here instead of the windows. So you get like your hypno eyes. I'm going to come back to this later. I like the shape in the structure. The shape in the structure works. This bit in the middle, not so much, but I'm going to move on and do some other stuff. For a start, I need to clean up this side because this is sticking out and shouldn't be like this. So, and I also, you know, my old nemesis, I haven't done a roof yet. Need a whole sidewall along the side of the station here as well, so we've still got lots to do. Materials, where did I put materials? 8. Probably is easier to paint this from under here rather than deal with all the machines in the way. Although a lot of this is going to be deleted and rebuilt because it's temporary stuff. Okay, we do need to fix up that conveyor on the other side as well. Near the plastics, I haven't forgotten about that because that's clipping like crazy at the moment. We've got some gaps we still need to fill here. I don't think there's any other foundation types in here that I would accidentally paint over. I think it all should be plain concrete and need to be updated to shiny concrete. Liberal spraying of plastic all over the walls. Now we need like a disco ball in here to lighten the mood. So those walls that we had before, I guess it's now confirmed that we're going with a chrome finish on walls and fittings. Was a double ding. Missed one by the window. You missed a one pattern at the window beam. Did I? Which over here? Over here? Oh, there. Thank you. I mean, I'm sure I would have found it several hours later, and there's probably other little bits and pieces I missed. I'm just generally painting over the majority of it. Like these walls at the back are definitely going to have to change. It's certainly not final. That's a leftover from when we had an extension out. This area underneath I'm going to have to fill in a little bit as well because it's a bit odd. Yeah, I can do that later though. Not urgent. Come on, stop timing out on me. It's problem with these side things is if they get too wide, they're harder to interact with. Have I run out of plastic? I've completely drained the depot of plastic. Where are we going to find more plastic? All these platforms are just raw concrete at the moment. I mean, there's probably more constructive things I can be doing with my time other than just painting plastic everywhere. Especially with these hard to get to bits under here. I think I'm putting off the next bit of design work. I'm going to come back and do this later. The station can stay there like that. I don't actually... I've filled in my entrance here, so I don't have an entrance. I have to come in by the train station, actually. So this room still does need some work, and this needs tidying up, but that's lower priority. We still need to deal with this big hole in the middle here. Looks nice, thank you. Think it's coming along. Pickles are good. Is that biofuel in your jet? It is absolutely liquid biofuel. It's the way to go at this stage of the game. Has an incredibly long burn time. There's a random concrete pillar. Yep, that's random. Yeah, it lasts a huge amount of time. Like, I know some people keep using liquid biofuel late into the game because of how long it lasts. Like, you shoot yourself out of it doesn't have much forward or vertical momentum, but you shoot yourself at a cannon across the map, and then you can just liquid biofuel tap your way to wherever you need to go. So it is the fuel of choice, even late game by some people. Okay. I think the rest of the roof is a future design problem. So I do have a layering concept, and I made a little blueprint to start doing it. Whoops, wrong one. What was that? DPVR, wild question, is there a way to disable all reflections in the game? I don't know. You don't like reflections, or are you disturbed by them all being screen space reflections rather than real reflections? Blueprints. Architecture. How do I put it in here? Oh, it's this plastics floor. So the idea is that we build these on top. Like that. No, 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 no. Close, close, close. Oh, ow. 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 Whew. Almost killed by a menu. Yeah, so the vertical thrust is not great, but there is a heck of a lot of thrust in these jetpacks. So the idea is I build a floor like this, and then I can build another layer of factory on top, but fall off again. So this building has the potential for being quite tall. So that's kind of the long-term plan, but for now, let's just do a bit of filler roof in here just to fill it out and make sure it's kind of finished. We probably should put some skylights or something in here. But again, because there's going to be layers of factory on top of this, not a lot of use putting a huge amount of lighting. You're chasing frames. Ah, okay. Is this your Linux version still not running smoothly? Is that why you're trying to disable reflections? I mean, just for now, I could put a bit of window in here. Ceilings. Glass roof. 2 meters.
Incoming propaganda broadcast detected. Please seek shelter.
I asked if you're talking about your Linux version and still having performance issues, Dippy. Is that why you want to drop more frames? So we have a token skylight there, and if we have multiple layers up above, we could probably keep this skylight actually going all the way above. If the layout of the factory across floors stays the same, I could put some lights on the inside though. Anyway, there was Twitch wanting me to take a break, so I'm going to take a 3-minute break, and we will be back shortly after this. Thanks, Top Down X. It's good to recess things a bit so there's a bit of depth to them. I will be back shortly to talk more about Windows.
Look lively. It's time to do those stretches and hydrate.
And we are back. Dippy is running 20 to 30 frames a second. Yes, that is not great. Usually shadows is the big thing. Usually going from low shadows to medium shadows is a good performance saver. I suspect you've already got things down pretty low. Top Unix has the shortest ad break ever, 5 seconds worth of ads total. That's pretty neat. If only all ads were that short. Okay, we are slapping on some roof on this building now that we've got a scary looking frontis to it. I think I'll just make this flat. Although it might be good to actually run strips of light up and down them. Because again, I haven't really blueprinted any concept of what to fill between the... That just went the opposite direction I zooped that. And that did too. Where's my undo button? I think I'm getting tired. So my lazy wave of the wand is not quite as accurate as it was earlier. If I do that, it's going to overlap a bit. Maybe I do just run it there and keep it simple. I thought I deleted all those. Am I going crazy? Or did I delete them, and then when I put the other ones down, I did exactly the same thing again, and they all built the wrong way again? Look, yeah, okay, slight movement, and it snaps around. Let's lock it in place so I can move it wherever I want. And that way it will, yay, it's in the right place this time. I think I'm going to leave this empty because I will put a blueprint of something here. It probably won't be a diluted fuel blueprint, or if it is, it'd be modified to do more than just fuel, perhaps. Actually, I might move... Now that I've run all those logistics underneath to this point to sink all the scrap, there's a big open space that this could go here. It is nice and central, and we could even make multiples of them to keep up with performance. I mean, I can probably duplicate this here and chuck one there, and it's with minimal movement of the sink. So actually keeping the sink up the back there is probably fine. And it's going to be easier than rerouting everything. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, I do want to make a little bit of packaged fuel and a little bit of fabric. We're going to do the packaged fuel now. It won't take long, right? Okay, for packaged fuel we would need more diluted fuel, so we'd have to do that. But instead of... We need a modified blueprint, actually. So instead of unpackaging the fuel, we leave it packaged, and we need to then have a constructor to construct new packages before the packaging. Ideas are whirring in my head. Problem is that's a ridiculous amount of packaged fuel that we really don't need that much. I already deleted the blueprint maker, didn't I? Yeah, okay, I'll fiddle with that another time. But I'm pretty sure I could take the diluted fuel blueprint. I could try just modifying it in space. Again, not a final position, but it just opens up this space for me to just experiment with this packaged fuel. So it's basically the output of this is the output of what we want. We want packaged fuel out. So instead of the packaged fuel running into this unpackager, this unpackager will not be here because we are not unpackaging anything, but we need to input canisters. Now, where do we get canisters from? Well, we need to make them out of plastic. Roger. My nudge direction is all confused. Is it this way? No. It's that way. $60 canisters a minute. $60 canisters a minute. Oh, look, there's even a power pole right there. Now we just need some plastic fed in here. That's a 2 meter. Should have really made these 1 meter so we can fit some logistics in here. Oops. So all we need to feed in here is some water and oil. We don't need to change the fuel line. We just need to change this pipe down here. I haven't also spec'd out the number of oils, so we'll need to feed more oil in here as well. And we need water. So there's a pipe here that's going through. We need to rebuild that one. So that is actually connecting. Oh, stop it! So all we need to do is, we do need to add and take out the scrap here. I can actually just... No, that's no, not like that. There's all this plastic coming down here. So all we really need to do is steal some plastic. Where's that hole? Okay, the hole is there. There's nothing here to stand on. Oh, yeah, I thought I might have double clicked that. Probably just a Mark 1 would be enough, since we only need 30 a minute. We are actually stealing the hard created plastic from the trains. So this will actually chew into our plastic supply. And is that belt is actually not clipping. Gonna clip in the future though. Again, this is kind of a temporary thing and it'll be cleaned up later. Okay, plastic is coming through here. So this should hopefully make new plastic rather than just recycling the plastic, which will go packaged water, which will come out here as fuel, which we can then send off to the sorting center. Now, that was another belt under this Warren logistics floors. That's rubbish. No, I might tackle that later. I think it's enough that I've got fuel production online. And I will tidy up the logistics later, because basically the output of this needs to go to the sorting center, which is up downstairs. Needs to join on to this point here, so I need to run... Actually, that's not too bad a run. Let's just straight down here and merge there, and that's it. That's pretty easy. We can do that now. I was expecting to have to crisscross across a whole bunch of things. You hate internet these days. I found the AI slot version of guide before I found the original guide. Yeah. This is 1 meter. Yeah, that's probably where I run into bad AI the most, is when I Google something and the result I get is an AI slot guide that is obviously just making stuff up and being wordy about it. That's the worst. You know, I'm not as anti-AI as you, but trust me, I am certainly anti-slop for no good reason. Where it is less than useful. Okay, that actually turned out really neat. I mean, this I'll tidy up later. I do need to redo this bit anyway. But that goes through, and then that's all going to go into the sink because we haven't actually programmed anything. That's the worst thing that happened to humanity. This is the end of putting effort into researching anything. Yeah. Set package fuel. There we go. Into the container. Here it comes. Oh, it's all going into the depot first. Now that that's in the depot, I've just polluted my depot with fuel. I should have my liquid biofuel automatically go in the depot as well. That way, if I'm in the middle of nowhere and I run out of fuel, it would be useful to get it. But that's cool. We've actually automated another one of the things I was going to automate. That's a very bright label. Maybe I should drop the emissions on those. So the plan is that this end one here will be fabric, which means we'll have to make a little fabric processing plant somewhere, maybe up the back here, and that'll probably be a custom build. I've also realized that I haven't counted for the extra oil requirement. Why are these still yellow? Not enough fuel. Did I stuff up the fuel connection? Okay. These are green. These are green. These are green. What have I messed up? Those are yellow. That's not so good. Oh. Ah. That one's been broken for a while then. What's... Oh, I didn't rebuild this single lift here. When I rebuild all these blueprints, that's the bit I missed. Now, is that actually going to go through? Yes. Good. Is that the only one? Is this side over here filtering properly? Yep, they're all green. So that was the only one that was just reducing my fuel a little bit. Okay. Yeah, but I am using more oil. I'm using an extra 22.5 per minute from what was originally planned. So I need to make sure that this 135, 157 and a half. Seems like an odd number. $22.5 times 7. 157.5. I guess it is. Oh. Nope. Here we go, 131.25% overclock. Still, and the water, I don't think I actually balanced the water, so the water is probably already pumping out more than is necessary. Yeah, these look like they're 83%, so they should be fine. They should still be pumping out plenty of water. Okay. So I think I will wrap it up there for the evening. I have accomplished what I set out to do, pretty much, which is good. So the main feature of today was the scary front of the building. Let's go to my... I should build a bit of bigger platform out of here because it's becoming a common spot. Still not happy with the sign work in the middle. That will probably change, but we have kind of a hex window here with a ventilation slats there. And at least we've enclosed the front somewhat. Still need to do some more down here, sort of fill in the train entryways a bit differently. So that's that. So there's not enough room to get a good sprint off this to get some momentum. That wasn't too bad. We've slapped on most of a roof. The roof is still very much a work in progress, but at least we've kind of got a roof line starting to form. We've updated this blueprint. What did we do? Yes, we put some supports in here so that this middle section of the building actually looks like it's supported, because before this was kind of a floating platform ceiling that wasn't attached to anything, so we've now got proper supports through there. And just then we whacked on another diluted fuel blueprint, but we've modified it so that instead of recycling the fuel canisters, we're building new canisters with leftover plastic that is outputting fuel, that is going down to our foyer area where it is available. Oh, I missed entirely. Which is available for collection by hand here, and that should have filled up the depot by now, so we should start to be seeing some put in here. And then once that is filled, excess fuel will be sunk. So yes, not finished. Maybe just install thin displays in the middle. Yeah, it might be some different kind of sign layout. Maybe I just do similar kind of feature lighting like I did over the other side. It would be nice to have some kind of actual signage, which I guess I could put in here. You know, I could put letters down here, but that, again, that's kind of angled in, so it's hard to see. So maybe we need some highlights on the edges here. Maybe something along the bottom here. Not sure yet. Maybe I just make that a different grill again. I just didn't want to make the entire thing like grill all the way though, that's the thing. Actually, I should maybe furrow it down sort of similar to, oh, I'm going to run out of fuel. But similar to this angle here, maybe just enough to get to the top. Maybe I put some of these angles in here, so it's not just all flat the whole way through. Try and extend this angled roof out to the edge here. I think that might help break it up a little bit. And maybe we do two sets of signs sort of in the middle there rather than a big vertical one in the middle there. Cool. Currently the only way to get into this office is through the trains, so I also need some other method of entering here. So I could do a walkway around the outside, similar to how I've done over there. Or maybe I just have a hypertube system set up. Because over here, there's kind of this walkway around the edge here, and so you can walk in the doors there. But this building is a bit less inviting for pedestrian traffic. Kind of reminds me of an Evil Corp building from a movie. Is it a Tron style thing? With that hex shape. Looks very familiar. Like I haven't specifically intentionally copied anything, but it looks kind of familiar. Yeah, I think now that the front is like one front, it sort of fits in with the curve of the circle of the area as well a bit better. Oh, okay, let's head home. We need some more sign highlights. Definitely reminds me of something familiar from somewhere. Not sure if it's from a movie or a real building. Hey, doggos. Timmy's been out hunting. I'm going to turn that into jetpack fuel, Timmy. Scratch has been out hunting. Good, good. George has solid fuel. Actually, solid fuel is good for turning into liquid fuel. That's good too. They've all been giving me fuel. And Snowy's given me rubber. Thanks, Snowy. Maybe I should set my recycling center up to recycle animal parts into biofuel, because at the moment I'm making alien protein up there. But if I made... Oh no, you turn the alien protein into biomass. So maybe if I set... Actually, I think I already did that. I think I turned it off because I wasn't 100% sure I wanted to always do it. I think it was along here. Alien protein into biomass. Did I enable this splitter? Left output. Which is the left output? Yeah, okay, I've disabled the DNA because I have plenty of tickets. So I think if I put in alien protein here, it should recycle into biomass. I think I'm going to go through a lot of liquid biofuel. Let's try it. Let's chuck in that. Let's chuck in that. That can go in. Yeah, slug can go in. Keep thinking I should recycle polymer resin, but really I'm not going to have lots of excess. It's only when I'm working in the plastics factory that I'm going to get lots of polymer resin handed to me. Okay, that's the protein comes through from the animals, and here's the biomass comes through from the protein. So that should give us an absolute bucket load of biomass, because one alien protein becomes 100 biomass. We dropped 70 in there. So does that mean we're going to get like 7,000 biomass out the other end? Now, at the moment, it's a manual process that you have to take the biomass, chuck it back in the system, and then it will become solid biofuel, and then you take the solid biofuel, chuck it in here, and it becomes liquid biofuel. So it is a bit of a back and forth, but the idea is that sometimes you might need biomass. You know, I might go crazy and make lots of jump pad landing spots or something, so I might suddenly need it. So this is a bit of a manual to and fro, but it actually is pretty easy. And you know, I can always split off 100 of that and chuck that in while I'm waiting. And I haven't summer slooped any of the alien stuff because we're going to get enough. It'll be plenty. You should get some liquid biofuel come out. Takes a little bit of time. Also, because I chucked it all in, it's probably not necessarily all fed through the conveyor yet. Come on, where's my... There we go. It'll trickle through. Anyway, I will chuck this stuff through, and then I'm going to save and log out for the night because it is quite late tonight. And I've got D&D to play tomorrow morning, so I've got to be up moderately early as far as nerd timelines go. So again, thank you very much for keeping me company as I try and do some more architecture. Look, I can see the building from here, and when it gets higher it's going to be even more obvious. Like, I can see the coal kind of on the horizon, but this building is already noticeable silhouette in the back there. So the space pumped hard, turns out using DX12 instead of DX11 almost doubled my frames per second. That's interesting because I thought DX12 didn't work with Linux and Satisfactory, Dippy. Has something changed that it's working now? I mean, that's good news because your frame rate is then slightly less terrible. I thought there was a reason DX11 was picked for Linux and UEVR though. Unless newer UEVRs have improved it. Because yeah, usually DX11 is supposed to be faster, or if you have performance problems, to use DX11. Let's go with just plastic 3 because this is the third play session of dealing with the plastic factory. VK3D 3D instead of DXVK. I will take your word for it. I'm happy that you've got it working better though. Again, if you could write up a guide of all the stuff you're learning, we can put it in the wiki so other people can find out about it and get the best Linux Satisfactory experience. One of the videos I have on my tube, someone has asked again, does this work on Linux? And I need to reply and say, sort of, but it's complicated. Ask Dippy. That's what I'll do. So again, thank you everyone. I will now see if there's someone to raid out onto Twitch. If the last few nights have been any indication, it'll probably be a Satisfactory player playing Star Rupture. Star Rupture looks like a very promising and upcoming game. I've played a little bit in the playtests and I'd love to do a VR mod for it, but no progress or big plans yet. Although apparently Allmine had some success getting some of the tools working, modding tools working with Star Rupture. So maybe Allmine can give me some hooks in so I can start modding it for VR, because that would be awesome. Okay, let me just take my headset off. Put that down over there. And I'll see, fire up a browser and have a look and see who is online. I don't run over all my cables. Look, hey, Fluxo is still playing Star Rupture. Actually, Essenber's on playing Satisfactory. I raided Fluxo last night, so I might go with raiding Essenber tonight because he's a pretty cool guy playing Satisfactory. So let's go with that. Again, thank you very much everyone for watching. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Be excellent. And I'll see you on the next stream next week. What's that raid button? There it is. Goodbye, Top Dionyx. Catch you later. Good night, everyone.